You spent time this morning checking how you look. Maybe you fixed your hair. Maybe you picked an outfit that made your shoulders look wider. Maybe you just glanced in the mirror one more time before you left the house. You think that's a modern habit? Something that came with Instagram, gym mirrors, skincare routines? It's not. It's tens of thousands of years older than you'd guess. And ancient humans took it more seriously than you ever will. Because looking good isn't a byproduct of civilization. There's a real chance it's one of the reasons civilization happened at all. Let's start with the oldest evidence we have. In caves in South Africa, at a site called Blombos, archaeologists found pieces of ochre, a soft reddish stone ground down and mixed with fat to make paste that's roughly 100,000 years old. Ochre has zero nutritional value. You can't eat it. It doesn't protect you from a predator. The only thing it's good for is color, which means someone 100,000 years ago was mixing pigment for one reason only, putting it on their skin. At the same site, archaeologists found shell beads, small ones, deliberately pierced, some stained with that same red ochre, strung together like a necklace. No survival function, no practical use. Just something to wear, something to be seen in. Think about what that means. This was long before farming, before writing, before permanent homes. These were people constantly fighting to find food and stay alive. And in the middle of that fight, someone still took the time to pierce a shell, dye it red, and wear it. That's not a minor detail. That's a priority. So, why would a species fighting to survive spend any energy at all on looking good? An anthropologist named Ian Watts has spent years studying ochre use across ancient sites. Body decoration wasn't decoration the way we think of it now. It was signaling. Status, health, group identity, even fertility, all communicated visually. Looking a certain way wasn't vanity. It was information other people needed. And once you accept that, the rest of the record starts making a lot more sense. By around 30,000 years ago, across sites in Europe, archaeologists start finding bone needles. Fine enough to work with sinew thread, next to tailored clothing remains. Not just clothing for warmth, clothing shaped to fit the body. Some burial sites from this period have hundreds of beads sewn directly into clothing, arranged deliberately across the chest and head. That's not someone dressing to survive the cold. That's someone dressing to be noticed. Then there's the tools. Archaeologists have recovered tweezers made of bronze and bone dating back over 5,000 years, found across Europe and the Near East. Not farming tools, not weapons. Tweezers. Which means somewhere in the ancient world, an entire category of tool existed for exactly one job. Grooming. Yeah, some things never change. Somewhere out there, a Bronze Age guy is looking down at us, nodding. Rapid fire, because the list only gets crazier the further you go. Ancient Sumerians used the first known perfumes made from flowers and oil over 4,000 years ago. Ancient Greeks used olive oil mixed with crushed flowers as a full-body moisturizer daily. Roman men plucked their arm hair in public bathhouses and paid professionals to do it for them. And across ancient China, both men and women grew their hair extremely long because cutting it was tied to shame and even punishment. Meanwhile, in Mesoamerica, the Maya deliberately shaped baby skulls and filed teeth into points, all as beauty standards, not torture. Imagine explaining that one to your dentist today. But nowhere took it further than Egypt. Both men and women wore eyeliner made from a mineral called coal, and it wasn't purely cosmetic. It was believed to protect the eyes from sun glare and infection. Function and appearance, same swipe. Egyptians also removed body hair almost entirely, using tools close to modern tweezers and early depilatory pastes made from plant sugars. Appearance was tied directly to class. The wealthier you were, the more oil, pigment, and time you could pour into your body. An archaeologist named Joanne Fletcher, who spent decades studying Egyptian grooming, argues appearance in Egypt functioned almost like a resume. Before you said a single word to someone, your skin, your hair, your scent already told them exactly where you stood. So here's the full picture. 100,000 years ago, humans were grinding pigment and stringing shell beads with zero survival benefit. 30,000 years ago, they were sewing beads into clothing shaped to draw the eye. 5,000 years ago, they had dedicated tools built for nothing but grooming. And by the time Egypt was in full swing, appearance was a language every single person spoke fluently. LOOKSMAXXING didn't start with a gym mirror and a skincare shelf. It started on a cave floor in South Africa, with someone deciding that just surviving wasn't enough. They wanted to be seen a certain way too. Every time you check a mirror before you walk out the door, you're doing something that's been part of being human for 100,000 years. The tools changed. The standards changed. But the impulse, the need to be looked at and understood at a glance, that part never left. If you want to dig deeper into any of this, all the research is linked down in the description. See you in the next one.